Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the August Energy Interpretation. I'm Casey Aileen Knight, and I am a creation coach and guide for mystics and healers and wayshowers who are really here to be the light. We are here to experience a luminous evolution. In my perspective. So, if you are someone who does not believe in the luminous evolution of humanity and that this is our point of existing here, then this is probably not for you. I'm going to be speaking more directly to the people who are here, who know that they are here to be the change. They are the guides, the teachers, the wayshowers, the leaders, the healers, the mystics. Some of them are starseeds and earth angels and witches and the people who feel energy and know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are so much more than just our bodies and that we have this internal energy that is here to be expressed. And in fact, that expression of self is kind of the point. So every month, I take the pulse energetically of what I'm seeing and feeling for this group of people. And this month, we're also going to be looking a little bit more deeply at the astrology and at the wheel of the year, because there is this very strong need for us right now to harmonize with what is, like harmonize and come together instead of fighting against it. And we just had a great little conversation about this inside the Luminous Evolution community. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you're welcome to go and see the full thing inside the free Luminous Evolution group. And that's where I talk a little bit deeper, and we have a Q&A at the end. And if you're not inside that group, I just welcome you in, friend, because that's where I spend a lot of my time sharing activations and illuminations, conversations, and more. Now, it is August, and when I tuned into the energy and I get these visuals and sometimes songs and things like that, it was the energy of a pineapple with its own like illuminated light. Usually you see like a meditating being with a light inside of them, but this was a pineapple. And that was very meaningful to me because one of my mentors has this phrase that says, pineapple season is coming. Her name is Melanie Ann Layer, and she had this insight when she went to visit the Dole plantation many years ago that it takes 18 months for a pineapple to come to fruition, to, I was going to say be born, but to be created and to be ripe and ready for harvest. And like, that's a long time. And there's a lot of faith and trust that goes into it. So when Spirit showed me that illuminated pineapple, I was like, oh, pineapple season is here. And many of us are who've been doing the work, who have been showing up, who have been doing their healing, their shadow work, who've been showing up and shining, who've been holding that vision of, even though things feel chaotic right now, we are walking together to create a whole new world. Those people are going to be able to really start to harvest the rewards of all of the work that you have been doing. So, congratulations. It's so exciting. We've made it. We are past the tipping point, and we have been for a while, but there's always these new levels and layers. And I'm really feeling that this is a new era for the wayshowers, the leaders, the healers, the helpers, whatever the labels are. If you're here to be part of the change, this is you. And when I speak about leadership, I'm not always talking about the people who are out in front, but I am talking about the people that are here to be an example and to go first. Because let's face it, not everybody on this planet is ready for this conversation. And they're still looking at how bad everything is. And they're like, well, there's no hope. There's no solution. You are part of the solution. And right now, I work with tropical astrology, by the way, not the sidereal, because I like to align with the solstices and the equinoxes. And we are in Leo season, and the full moon in Aquarius is happening on the 1st of August. So we're just heading into this energy where there is going to be an illumination of all of our fears about being a visionary, about being a leader, about being someone who can see the future. And it's time to release those. It's time to let go of the things that are holding you back from speaking your truth and actually being that light for the people around you. There is a huge subset of you who have been playing small. And this is me too, because there's so much fear, there's so much wounding around being our most radiant selves. And this full moon is a chance to let the light shine on them. And then we go like, what is conscious? What is unconscious? What is holding us back? And how can we release this? How can we let it go with this light so we can fly into August owning our light, amplifying that Leo energy, and really giving ourselves the chance to step into more of that light that comes from your heart center. That's just you shining and being, because that is the point of you being here. It's not so much about the doing energy at this point as we walk into the new paradigm. It's about who you are, and simply being your radiant self is enough. And then you start to do from that place. So, on this full moon in Aquarius, I also really want to encourage you as a wayshower, as a leader, as a visionary who can see the future and who might even remember the future, and that it's more beautiful than we can ever imagine, and that we are headed to that place and space of harmony. I want you to work on releasing the fears that you have around technology and AI specifically. Now, we don't have true AI, and the things that people are calling AI, they're just the next level of like language models and smarter computers. They're not actually artificially intelligent and sentient, but they are more intelligent, and they are a tool that every society that makes it to this place of like unity and harmony that we want to go to has to move through. And the fear path is going to create resistance, and it's going to just build on itself because what we focus on expands. And if we can release those fears and tap into the possibility, possibilities are what I want our group, our collective to focus on. What is possible when we have computers that can support us in doing the things that humanity requires support in? Imagine computer systems that can take every single bit of medical research around the world in every language and aggregate all of the data and pull all of the conclusions and be able to be that database that's actually also like pulling out the potential for health and healing and cures and new medicine and all of that, and diagnoses. Imagine when that is harnessed, the advancements that we can make. I am covered in goosebumps right now because I've been waiting for this time for a long time, and we're actually here at this age, right? You know, Pluto is moving into Aquarius. It did a little bit earlier in the year, but Pluto is moving into Aquarius later in the year. And we are at that dawn of this revolution of visionary technology. It's already here, it's already happening. So, what can we do individually to hold the energy of what we want to see, what we want to do, what we want to teach these artificially intelligent models to do and to be? Can you be the light, the beacon that says, this is the future that I want to see, instead of focusing on what could be in the like, you know, like scary Terminator kind of matrix reality? I want you to really tune in to releasing all of those pieces of fear so we can drop those and be the visionaries for what we want to see. This is the time, and we get to be the light that anchors in what it is that is possible. So as we're in this Leo season, you focus on the light, which is information plus love. You focus on being it, you focus on anchoring it in, you focus on not just illuminating it through your heart, but through your entire being, and not having to run your own energy, by the way, too, because that's a shadow Leo kind of thing. If you're doing it from the ego, you'll deplete yourself. So the opportunity is to really learn to run the cosmic energy through you so you have this infinite battery. So tuning in this month to go, Am I depleting myself, or am I allowing the light to flow through me and from me, but not of me? So we're tapping into that next level ascended divinity aspects of that Leo energy as much as possible. And if you are really also fearful of some of those pieces of like being seen, being witnessed, if like this is also the time to look at this in that full moon energy. Now, what's also happening, interestingly, on the 1st of August is the cross quarter point between the solstice and the equinox. If you're in the northern hemisphere, we have Lamas or Lunaset, and in the southern hemisphere, it's Imbolc. So if you were in the northern hemisphere like me, this is our first harvest time, which is why that pineapple light that came through energetically to me, that illuminated pineapple energy, was so perfect. And I was like, yes, it's time to reap what we have sown and we get to celebrate it. And so there's polarity here. If you have been doing the work, if you've been showing up for yourself, if you have been doing all this, like it's your time to actually celebrate and acknowledge how far you've come and let yourself reap the rewards. Let yourself look back and go, wow, I'm not the person I was 6 months ago or 2 years ago or 10 years ago. I have actually really leveled up, and you got to acknowledge and celebrate it. Also, hold the compassion for people that might be taken in this full moon and cross quarter point energy of like, oh my gosh, I'm not where I want to be because I haven't been putting in the work. I haven't been following my intuition. I haven't been following the nudges that my soul has led me to. If you're in that energy or you know people who are, there's got to be compassion and that gentle, like loving energy of going, that is the thing, but let's not focus on all of the things that have gone wrong and instead, what could you do now? Because most of us learn through trial and error. I especially do, and it's the making of the mistakes that allows us to learn. So if you don't like where you are, you get to take stock of that and have a moment where you go, okay, what do I actually want? And what is possible? And you have the two options. You can either stay in the energy of not doing it and not taking the steps to do what you need to do, or you can move forward one step at a time. And I think we're at this point energetically on the planet where if you don't take the aligned action steps, life is going to start kicking your butt really hard, like harder than ever before, because everything that's out of alignment is being illuminated and activated, and it's going to feel more intense. So we're going to have polarity. We're going to continue to have duality. That's going to continue on this planet. But I need you, if you are a way shower who's been doing the work, to actually give yourself the kudos, give yourself the grace to say, yay, look at how much I've done, no matter how far you think you have to go. Okay. It doesn't matter how much more work there is to be done. If we don't stop and celebrate and have some fun in the sun, then it really like, well, A, what's the point? Like, we're supposed to have moments of celebration along the journey. It helps us, it buoys our energy and helps the upward momentum. Also, it's important because those acknowledgments actually give us the perspective of going, even though there's a lot of work to be done, I have done the work in the past and I know how to do it. So it doesn't matter if I don't know how, I'm going to figure it out. There is a lot that needs to come together for us to continue to create the planet that we came here to create. But taking a moment to stop and acknowledge and party and celebrate and give ourselves the like jobs are really important and essential. And for you on the Southern Hemisphere, if you are at that Imbolc time where it's just starting to see the light of spring and the light is beginning to return to you, that's where you also go, oh my gosh, we survived the winter, which, as the days get darker, that brings us inward, and it is a harder part of the journey typically. So you get to start to feel the hope and feel the excitement about the light returning and what is to come as well. So these two celebrations are not that different, Imbolc and Lunasa, right? They're on different sides of the world and we're having different experiences, but the energetic frequency is the same. Appreciation and hope, both at the same time. So there is a lot that is happening at the beginning of the month because I've just spent the last like 10 minutes talking about it. But we are moving into this time in the mid-month where there's a Leo new moon on the 16th. And this is the double Leo energy. So super potent opportunity to dream into what it is that you really want to be known for and to shine and share in your life and plant those seeds energetically, set intentions for the visibility, the luminosity, the radiance, the success, that light. Plant the seeds of the wildest dreams on those days without needing to know how. Okay. That's not Leo's job. Leo's job is just to shine. And by the way, as we look at the astrological archetypes, as we move through the wheel of the year, it is the journey of the human, it's the human's evolution. So when the sun moves into Virgo on the 23rd of August, that's where we start to actually go, okay, how do we bring this radiance and this cosmic magic and these dreams and the light down to earth in grounded ways? Virgo is the priestess energy, the priest and priestess, which is a channel for the divine, bringing the cosmic light down to earth in grounded, practical ways. And so those Leo dreams need a good container, and that Virgo energy can bring through the structures and start to go in this linear earth element way. What is the first step? What is the next right thing? And then what is the step after that? And you always see the Virgo energy with having the clipboards and the checklists and the bringing the structures so that the light can have, the beautiful container that it needs to really be highlighted, right? So the fire energy actually is contained and not burning out of control or burning out. It's like creating the fireplace or the hearth or the spotlight, like whatever it is. But that energy too, the stability, the security, the systems, the foundations, the structures, those are sacred too. And that's some of the teaching of the Virgo. And so many of the wayshowers and the dreamers, we struggle with bringing that cosmic magic down to earth in grounded ways because we want to play in the magic and we forget that we are physical beings, and to create a new world, we need some of that step by step structured energy. So we want to start tuning in. And this is easier if you are in the Virgo energy in the Northern Hemisphere, I think, because you can think back to school. What are the foundations? What are the systems? What are the structures? What are the school supplies that I need to go? But if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's, that spring is coming. So you start to think, what am I actually going to plant physically in the garden? What are those next steps? And you might even be able to plant the garden if you're living somewhere where spring springs earlier than it would, in my neck of the woods. So it's like bringing sacredness to the mundane tasks that are needed and illuminating what we need to survive, because that's important, but also illuminating what is needed to thrive, right? Like bringing that thriving energy in is just so potent this year. We really have had to squish down into survival over the last couple of years. And now I just feel these pieces of density just crumbling away. And it's like, what is bigger? What is next? What are we building? And what do we need to do to make that happen without getting overwhelmed with all of it and going one step at a time and understanding those steps are still divine? Then we wrap up the end of August with another full moon. So this is the double whammy. The 30th of August, there is a full moon in Pisces, which is just this interesting combo with the sun in Virgo and the energy in Pisces, which what's coming through is like really releasing the shadow side of Pisces, the dreamer, the water element, which can be like dreaming, 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 and not getting much done. Releasing that shadow side to really work with the Virgo energy and bringing the containment to the water, as well as the fire that it did for Leo, bringing the containment in, which is like, instead of holding water in your hands and it falling everywhere, you got a glass, a container for the energy of the dreams, and how we can use the step-by-step Virgo energy to hold the dreams and the vision and say, what is needed to bring this into fruition and form, because this 2023, the second half of 2023, is about bringing dreams into reality. It's no longer letting them just be dreams, okay? The beginning of 2023 had this energy when Pluto was first, it was in Capricorn, then it moved into Aquarius, where we're getting the visionary energies and getting that taste of what is to come. And Pluto right now is back in Capricorn, which is the boss daddy energy of planning and structures and systems. And it's like, what do we actually need? So, like, August, September, October energy is like, what do we need to get in gear, actually create this new earth? What systems, structures, foundations do we need to really make this happen? So, I want you to look internally. Keep asking yourself, what do I need to actually start taking these little steps into the life that I am dreaming of? So, beginning of August, stay in that energy of the radiant dreamer, the magic, without worrying about the how. Especially if you like working with the energy of the Lion's Gate, that 888, when we're really tapping in to the power of the possibility of the infinite potential, the abundance, the magic, all of that. And then that towards the end of August, start to focus more on the okay, and now what? How do we start to ground things in to create the world that we are dreaming of? How can we hold the light for everyone? And not everyone is going to feel this. Remember, I am speaking directly to you because you are here to be an example of what is possible. You are here to maybe create something magical and new. Maybe you're just here to amplify that energy that is already flowing through you. It doesn't matter. There is a lot of potential to really ramp up your leadership qualities. Don't forget when I say leader, August energy is leadership energy. A lot of people think leader has to be one that's like out and doing things that are new. That's part of it. But I really want you to think of it as internally for you. How can you lead yourself? How can you go first? How can you be the light? How can you be an example of what is possible? How can you embody the new paradigm energy in your beingness and create from that place? If you are a healer and a guide, you do wind up going first. To be an embodied leader and guide, you have to go first so that you can be an example to others of what is possible. This is the new energy of integrity. You shouldn't be teaching something that you've never done before, right? For the most part, there are several exceptions. We're not going to get into those. You should be teaching and sharing things that you have already done, you've already mastered, and you can illuminate for people what that looks like. So many of you are going to be doing this as healers, helpers, entrepreneurs, visionaries, wayshowers, and you have leadership qualities. Even if you're not leading the pack, even if you are walking alongside people and you're just showing them by shining your light, you have this leadership energy. So I would love to invite you to take my What New Earth Leader archetype are you ready to embody quiz that I'm going to link below here. So you can really tune into the embodiment of that energy that you already are, and also get some next steps for your expansion. So you can really lean into this Leo energy and the Virgo energy for August and amplify what it is that you're already doing. Right? I'm really hearing for all of you that are listening to this right now, it's not about like giant course corrections. It's not about burning your life down and building something totally new for most of you. Even if you're switching careers, switching jobs, switching relationships, it's less that burn it down energy. And now it's this pivot, align, fine tune energy. So you get to build on everything that you've done so far. Don't forget that. You are building on everything that you've done so far, even if you're releasing the old. So I am sending you so much love for all that you are going to be creating. I am also sending congratulations and a hearty well done, because I need to say thank you. The world, if you can see energetically like I can, it's shifted so much. There's so much potential, that's so much possibility that's already here. And our job is to embody it and then physicalize it as we grow, right? There's just a lot of magic and it's very intense. So keep taking care of yourself, take the vacations if you need, right? Slow down and just be, because that beingness is what we're here to do. And the doingness will come from that space of beingness. So celebrating you, dear ones. I love you so much. I'll see you next month.